Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back at it with another storytime video. In today's video, however, you guys are going to be getting two storytimes combined together because they're two short storytimes that go along with each other. I'm not going to explain much. Let's get into the video. So this is actually one of the more recent storytimes that I can remember, where we go back to second year of college. Finally, we come to something more recent, and you don't have to imagine an infant Noel. You have to just imagine like a Noel, but like a little more cringier. Now, something that I really like getting, which is not tattoos, because tattoos are way too permanent and I cannot commit to something so permanent in my life, and that's why I'm single. But unlike tattoos, piercings are something that you can get and take off whenever you feel like, and everything is back to normal. And hence, piercings have been a big part of my life because I've been how do you use piercings? I've been getting piercings for a long time now, starting with my low piercing and then the piercing that I'm going to be talking to you guys about, and also my eyebrow piercing. Now, before my eyebrow piercing, the reason I actually got my eyebrow piercing was because this piercing that I'm going to be talking about kinda ruined a lot of things. So in second year, I made the decision to get an industrial piercing. Pictures here. Now, an industrial piercing is not like your average piercing because it has two piercings together and they do both together at the same time, and that's why it's so freaking scary. But I love the thrill, I had to get it. So I go to a local tattoo artist in Goa. He was actually very well known and a friend took me to him. Now this tattoo artist gave me the most complex ever. He was this buff guy. That's pretty much it, yeah. And that gave me complex. Anyway, so the procedure of getting this piercing is done with a needle, not with a gunshot like how you would get a earlobe piercing. Now the way they go about this is basically they have a hollow needle. I don't know how to explain it, but I will put a picture in here somewhere. And they put this industrial piercing or any other piercing through this hollow needle. Why is this difficult to explain? There's a hollow needle, there's the piercing, you put the piercing inside. Oh, very wrong, okay. If you are under 18, please click off this video. But yeah, there's a needle, the piercing is inside, and the other end of the needle is sharp enough to pierce through, well, any freaking skin part on your body. Yeah. As weird and as gross as that sounds, it weirdly excited me at that point, and I was ready to get pierced. I was ready to get pierced. So as much as that excited me, I was also a little scared because I have never gotten a piercing with a needle, and I was just like, do I really want this? And so I asked him if he could use some numbing cream or any numbing agent that would just like get rid of the pain, at least for that moment. And his answer to that was,
"Be a man, dude. It's okay. Take the pain. You will feel so good after this."
And I was like, cool, I will take the pain. Now, normally, as I showed you guys pictures of this industrial piercing, it's always done with a ball bearing or a ball end, but he decided to put pointy ends, and so this had very sharp ends. I specifically remember asking him if he could do the ball bearings instead of the pointed edges because I just knew that it would have been a little bit of a pain to deal with it, to which he said, no, it's pretty cool, it's trendy, it's nice. And my dumb ass was like, yes, please pierce me with this. So here I'm sitting on the chair, he starts to pierce, he goes to this part of my ear and it hurts like a bitch. But I took the pain. Right when I think that, oh, that's it, he goes like, no, wait 1 second, you have your next piercing. In 3, 2. That hurt like a bitch again. I literally sat there bleeding for 15 minutes. They had few earbuds left, those got over, so he had to go get a new pack of earbuds because I was still bleeding. And as weird and as gross as that sounds, I really liked the piercing. So that was done. I liked the piercing, it looked very good. Now, the healing period of an industrial piercing is 3 months. Just to put that into perspective, a earlobe piercing is like 2 weeks of healing period. So when I say healing period, I mean I couldn't really tug on it ever for like 3 months. I couldn't sleep on that side for 3 months. I used to literally put clothes behind my back so that I don't shift to this side. And it was just a lot to deal with, but I had agreed to it because I wanted this piercing and I loved it. And I tried to take care of it for as long as I could. Now here's where things went south. As I mentioned, this piercing had sharp ends. And when I say it tugged on literally anything, it tugged on literally any freaking thing. From me wearing my t-shirts, from me wiping my hair, from me literally just touching my hair or flicking it, it would tug on the smallest things because it was that sharp. Now, again, when I say tug, I literally mean like pull and bleed. And it was always the upper one because this was closer to all my activity around my face rather than the lower one. However, literally 3 weeks into this, start getting my lower ear infected. I mean my lower piercing infected. So it was already a lot of red flags, but I still want you to somehow save this piercing. And yes, before you guys freak out on me, I did do all my salt water cleaning things, I did everything, but for some reason it still got infected. Now we come to the actual story that you guys are here for, the part where it gets ripped out of my ear. So I went back to Bombay and I went back to college. Everyone loved my piercing. My piercing was really nice. I loved it. I loved walking into class with it, flinging, showing it off, being like, oh my god, look at my piercing. But even in college, a lot of times I would find myself tugging on it and ripping it a little, and it would always bleed, and I would always still just wait for it to like heal and go about my day. So this was one day that I was sitting in the canteen, sitting with my friends, having my lunch, casual, and one of our graduates had come to college. And she had come for some other work, but she came to meet us, and I was sitting in the canteen facing the opposite side of the canteen, not like where the entrance is. So this friend of mine comes and stands behind me, and the friend sitting in front of me, who was Sian, was literally hinting at me to look behind because there was someone standing, and I was like, And if you know one thing about me is I don't get hints that easily. I mean, like, unless you do not send me an email saying what's happening, I will not know what's happening. Like, do not give me hints, just tell me what's happening. Honestly, it's much easier. But he kept going like, and I was like no shit's given. The third time he made it pretty obvious and he's like, look behind you. At this moment, this is the moment when I decide to turn behind to see who it is. And this was also the moment when my friend decided to hit my head to make me look behind. You guessed it. We both did the same thing together. So the piercing rips open my ear, right? And I do not even realize because I'm so used to the pain of me tugging on it so many times. I just thought it was one of those days when, well, someone's hand hit and it just tugged on it. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I sit and continue eating my lunch, only to look up and see Sian go like, holy shit, Noel. And I was like, what? And he goes, your piercing. And that's when I reach out and I notice my whole piercing dangling open out. And I touch my ear and it literally ripped open my ear, guys. And so the only logical thing I think of, what a tongue twister, was to remove the piercing. And as much as that hurt me, I knew that this was it. This was time. I had to take out the piercing because it was already infected. It tugged on it too many times and it was time to say bye. So I take it off. But now I couldn't ignore the fact that I had an open ear bleeding. Huge shout out to Sian. He also has a YouTube channel, by the way. He recently started a YouTube channel where he did 10,000 skips in a month. Was it a month? Yeah, it was a month or a week. No, it was a week. I think it was a week. Either way, there will be an eye that pops up with this channel. Please go check it out. Sian, who was there, was the only one who actually touched that situation with Dettol and fixed it. Not really fixed it, but like he took a lot of care because he saw how painful it was. And it was painful, very painful. But I did not really go to the doctor, which I probably should have, but like I still have a scar on my ear. I also wanted to get it again when I went to get my eyebrow piercing, but I decided not to because it's a whole different hassle. But yeah, the friend who actually tugged on it felt super bad, and I wouldn't blame her, honestly. It was just like a lot of things were happening with the piercing, so it was high time that it was out. Although someday in my life I might just get it again. We will see. But for now, that was pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys want to know more of my piercing stories or how I got my piercings or why I got my piercings or just general care about piercings, let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.